Hi folks, Matt from Art of the Image here. I'm going to do our second series on Nikon flashes. I'm going to introduce you to the Nikon SB-800 tonight. The SB-800 is the big brother to the Nikon SB-600, which we talked about in the last video. And the big advantage with the Nikon SB-800, the big brother, is that it's a little more powerful and it can be used as a commander flash for the Nikon CLS system. Those are the two biggies, and there's some other things that are advantages as well, but those are the two big things I wanted to talk to you about. Here's the two of them side by side. This is the Nikon SB-800. This is the Nikon SB-600. SB-800 is a little bigger, a little taller, a little fatter, a little thicker, a little heavier than the 600. So there's the two of them from the side view, and there's the two of them from the rear. And the 800, as I said, the big advantages are power and the ability to use it as a commander. The power is fairly significant. You get a fair bit more boost. I don't remember the guide numbers just offhand, but I'm going to go with it being about 25-30% more powerful. It's significantly enough more powerful that if you're using it and you need it, you notice it if you're needing more power from the 600. The beauty with the 800 as a commander is that you can have it on camera, using it as a flash, and also set it as a commander to trigger your remote flashes. So let's say you had a 600 off camera contributing some light to your subject, and you had the 800 on camera. You can set, for example, the 800 to bounce into the ceiling and contribute light to your exposure, and you can also set it to fire a command pulse to the remote flash, and it will fire in sync with the 800 on your camera, and then they will both be in sync and both contributing to the exposure. Now, your on-camera flash can do that in a lot of Nikon cameras, such as the Nikon D7000. It allows you to do that. The D90 and several other ones do. But the advantage with the 800 as a commander is not only is it a more powerful flash to use to contribute to your exposure if you have it on camera, but it also is a more powerful commander. You can set the head to a zoom it right out to 105 and point it in the direction of your flashes, and you'll be able to reach the remote flashes with a command pulse a lot farther away than you can with the on-camera flash that's built into your camera. So that's a big advantage right there. And the other big advantage is, in the scenario I just was talking about, if you have dim lighting and you need all the flash power you can get, and you have a SB-800 on camera, and it's firing up into the ceiling or directly forward or however you're using it, and it's also triggering the 600 as a remote flash, you're going to get a lot more power out of the 800 than you ever would out of the built-in flash on your camera. And the other thing is that, say you didn't want to use the 800 as a contribute to your exposure, you could set it to just be the commander. It doesn't have to contribute to the exposure. It doesn't have to put out an actual flash burst. It will just put out a control burst to control your remotes. So that's handy as well, and it does have the extra reach over what your say your Nikon D7000 or D90 or any of your camera bodies would be able to control with the remote flashes. Now, one of the big advantages with the 800 as well is some of the little features it comes with. The 800 has, similar to the 600, the wide diffusion panel right here that flips down. So that takes you to a wider, I believe that is as well as 24 millimeters. Actually, it looks like it's, let me see here. Yes, it goes to 14 millimeters, and if it's in, the flash goes to 24 millimeters. So simply by pulling out this diffusion panel, your flash's width coverage on a wide angle now is 14 millimeters. Now, the other thing you may have noticed when I was pulling this out is the SB-800 comes complete with its own bounce card, which is really handy. It's not handy in portrait mode, so if you're got your camera tilted for portrait mode, it doesn't really bounce a flash very well. But in landscape mode, in the wide view of the frame, it's a great flash. So you're taking a group photo, for instance, of some people, and you put this up and you aim it into the ceiling, throw this up, and you can get some nice bounce flash with that little, this will provide you that little pop into the eyes, so it makes for a nice bounce card. So that's built right in. The 800 also comes with a fifth compartment for batteries. So instead of taking just 4 AA batteries, you can pop off this side cover here, and then pop on the little compartment. I actually don't have it here to show you. I don't use them. I stopped using them, so I don't have one handy. And it pops right on. You can add a 5th battery. Now the advantage to adding the 5th battery is that you get a little bit of extra length out of your batteries as far as how long they'll last while you're shooting with them. And they also, especially when they're fresh, will cut down your recycle time just a little bit, so you can fire your flash just a little bit faster. So that's a big advantage too. The 800 also has a sync port for putting a PC jack on, so you can sync up to, if you don't want to use wireless and you just want to run a cord to control your flashes for off-camera flash. And it also has the other sync port if you want to do TTL flash control without going wireless. So it's got the 2 ports on it there, and a lot of the less expensive flashes, well, such as the SB-600, don't have that. So that's a big bonus right there as well. One of the other things that's really nice about the SB-800 is that you can put the SB-800 through the command settings into a remote flash that fires by sensing the other flash going off. So it's a slave flash basically, and what it does is when your other flash fires or your on-camera flash fires, it will fire just based on that pulse. Now, you don't always want to do that, because if you're in a situation where there's a lot of other people, say at a wedding, and everybody's flashes are going off, your flash is going to be going off consistently, and you're going to burn out your batteries, and you're probably not going to get it to fire when you want it to. In a situation where you're in the studio or a portrait and there's nobody else around, or you don't have other flashes going off, it works quite nicely. You can, if you're using remote triggers other than the CLS system, you can have one flash on a trigger, and you can set up the 800s to be slaved, so that when the flash on the trigger fires, boom, the rest of your SB-800s will fire as slaves. It's a really handy function. The SB-800 also comes with the little Nikon AS19 stand, and it comes with something very similar to, you've probably seen like a Stoffen diffuser. It's a diffusion dome, and it just pops onto the top here, and it's just a bit of a diffuser for the light. They're a nice little attachment to use. They work pretty well. I myself have kind of gotten away from using them. Used to use them all the time, and I tend to shoot a lot of bounce flash now. But a handy accessory that if you didn't get it with the camera, to buy something similar like a Stoffen would probably cost you $20 to $40. So, kudos to Nikon for including it at no charge. The other thing that the SB-800 comes with, which is a big advantage, is it comes with a couple of gels. It comes with a orange gel for tungsten lighting, and it comes with a green gel for fluorescent lighting. So basically what that does is it allows you to gel your flash. I don't know if you probably heard that term used, and basically what it's doing is you're color matching the color temperature. If you're in a room that's lit with tungsten bulbs, you're going to match your flash to that color temperature, so you don't have 2 different color light sources going off and confusing your white balance and the color in your image. Same with fluorescent. If you're in a room that's heavily fluorescently lit, you want to do the same thing, is gel your flashes so that you're creating the same color light source, so that your camera's rendering a true white balance, a true color for you. So a lot of advantages with the SB-800. More powerful. Comes with, or it is the 800 is a commander for the CLS system, and a more powerful commander than what is built into your camera, if your camera is able to do that. And the SB-800 as a commander can either be fired with itself contributing to the exposure. That's to say that it will fire a burst of flash to contribute to your exposure, as well as firing a control flash to your remote flashes off camera. And it can also be set so that it doesn't contribute to the exposure. So it's only firing a control pulse, and it's not firing a burst of light that contributes to the exposure. So that's handy if you're getting very creative with your lighting, or sculpting your lighting such that you don't want the flash on camera to contribute to the lighting. You can set it just to commander mode and to not contribute to the exposure. Comes with the 5th battery compartment. It comes with the stand. The lighting gels are an added bonus, and the diffuser on the top. And of course, the other thing that David Hobby, the strobist, would be very upset if I didn't point out again was the sync port and the PC jack. Those are features that you find in the higher end flashes, the more expensive flashes. They're not on the 600. And and once again, the bounce card. The bounce card, the built-in bounce card, is a handy feature. I use that quite a bit, actually. It's, if you don't have a bounce card with you, if you forget, you can pull that out. And the other thing is that again, the same as the 600, it does have the wide diffusion dome. So that's all built in. So the 800, it's a great value. It's no longer in the Nikon lineup, I believe, new. You probably can still find some stores selling it new. If not, you could find good deals on refurbs and on used ones on eBay or on other online places. The SB-800 has been replaced by the SB-900. A lot of us haven't made the move to the 900 because the SB-800 is such a great flash. We've decided to stay with them. Myself, that's what I've done. I like my 800s, and I haven't bothered to upgrade to the 900. I haven't seen the need for it. And I believe Strobist is the same. He carries a whole bag of 800s as well. Doesn't see the need for the 900 yet. So that gives you some background on the SB-800. If you're looking for a flash a little more powerful than the 600, or you want to add functionality to your already existing 600, let's say you already own a 600, getting the 800 gives you a more powerful flash that you can use as a commander for the CLS system, and then you're starting to build your collection of flashes, and the more flashes you have, the more you can do with your lighting setups and sculpting your light and getting into a more professional level of lighting. So for the next couple of videos, I think we'll look at the SB-900, the new SB-700, and then we'll probably get into the Nikon SU-800, the controller. It's not a flash, just a controller for all of the creative lighting system flashes. It'll control all of those flashes. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned to The Art of the Image. We'll be back to you soon with some new videos and some new articles. Thanks.